One of the bigger things is, you guys know, CITEE was put together for entrepreneurs, and we always try to pull out one key point that we see entrepreneurs not really fail at, but kind of fall short. So I wanted to bring out two people that I know are amazing in one of the biggest things and the biggest shortcoming for entrepreneurs, which is your brand. And your brand can go from everything from your logo to the way you dress, to the uniform of a company, and to the message that you put out. So I wanted to open this up. We have two professors here. You guys could please just briefly introduce yourself for the professors today, but we want to give these people some great information on how to build a brand, how to bring in clients, and everything it takes for messaging, from the visual aspect just to the social marketing. So if you can introduce yourself, please.
Sure. Once again, Andre K, CEO, founder of Socially Buzz. We've been around since 2009. Prior to Socially Buzz, I was the first person to introduce texting technology to the U.S. Congress. I was named.
Say that again, please, and say it slower. Just say that one more time.
I was the first person to introduce texting technology to the U.S. Congress as a way to communicate with their constituencies.
This is what you have in the room, and this is why I'm mad people don't show up. Continue, I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah, I was named, once again, by the Miami Herald, one of the top 10 black tech innovators in South Florida. I was named by a black enterprise as one of the tech entrepreneur of the year last year, actually this year. One of the top black tech-owned business as well by the Black Enterprise magazine. Yeah, I could go on, but anyway, so that's what we do. Socially Buzz, as I mentioned prior, is once again we combine technology and managed services to help businesses grow using social media and data.
I don't know how to come behind that one. Hello, everyone. I'm Kay Richardson, and I am the founder of ClientsWhoSayYes.com. And I started entrepreneurship about 12 years ago, being one of the first black young ergonomic specialists in Miami-Dade, Broward County. Work with companies like Adobe, Cargill, the US government as some of my clients, being a solo entrepreneur, competing with very large companies who sold millions, probably billions of dollars in office ergonomics. And that's pretty much how I got started in ergonomics, and realized that at that point I struggled and needed to create a brand. I needed to create a clear message and really hone in on who my ideal client was. So now with ClientsWhoSayYes.com, that's pretty much what I do with the entrepreneurs and business owners that I meet, is to help them get really clear and confident about who they work with so that they can attract and, most importantly, get the revenue coming through the door.
All right, so this is going to be less of a panel, more of the opportunity for you to give feedback and some of the weakness I've saw. But just today, and actually, Professor Alexis, you're going to have to ask some questions because we talked about your brand. Who in here is an entrepreneur and owns their own business? Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to have them start by telling something about their business and giving that little pitch. Then I'm going to have them explain their brand. I just kind of want you guys to give feedback, and then we'll go back into it, because this is a little bit more open. Anybody can talk. This is not a panel. This is more of a workshop, okay? Because then we're going to move over to the tables and move around. We're going to start over here. We're going to come this way.
Well, my current business is a service business.
So hold on. Let me help so I make sure I don't do this wrong. Give me your business name first. I'm gonna show more of an exercise. Just your business name.
My business name is myself, but
Well, what's your name?
It's Robert Mayer. I'm an attorney.
Robert Mayer, you're an attorney?
I'm an
So,
attorney.
as an
So
attorney-
my business, currently my business is my attorney, my laws.
Okay. As far as
So,
branding,
I
would-
don't, I wouldn't say that I have a brand per se, in the conventional sense. My branding is my experience and my reputation.
hold on. So do you feel that you have the need to expand? Are you looking to grow? Or what would be the strengths or weaknesses of your brand itself?
I'm not so sure how I could answer that.
Okay.
I don't
So this is
see
why
You're looking more, you're asking these questions as a, more of a product business, you would ask.
It's not a product
service.
business. We're asking a question based off of people that are trying to grow or build a company. Subject expertise are in a position to help you out to understand how to grow your company based off of branding and imagery. So if you have a company that is either looking to brand themselves, can't tell the story well, or they need to, or can't grow or have a stint because the branding is not working, that's more so the people we're trying to get to speak at this point. So if you're a lawyer and you're not struggling or you don't have a problem with your branding, this wouldn't actually apply.
That's right.
What's word group?
Spell it for me?
QUATTUOR.
Okay. Guys, first hear that. What's the first thing we're thinking?
It's gonna be hard for people to get it if you had to ask twice. It's, what was it again? The idea mostly is about really, once you say once, they get exactly what it is, right? So, I mean, that's my thought on the name itself. It
It's
doesn't.
not going to change, but thank you.
No, of course. I mean, I'm not trying to change
But this
it.
is the thing, guys. This is why it's a workshop. It's not about the name changing.
No, I understand.
It's about understanding. So, but you want that initial feedback. You'll see where it goes. So now the next thing is tell us what your company actually does.
My company is a management consulting company. We're 4 partners, and we founded the company about 2 years ago to go into companies that are distressed or looking to grow and have organizational problems. So we go in and work with the management teams to turn around, restructure, reorganize the organization from top down. From top down. It's not. Oh, it
You
is.
gotta hold it
working.
closer. Okay, I'm sorry. We're gonna do, because we are recording. I know this is harder for you guys, but a quick, microphones, handheld, are normally 1 to 2 inches from your
Okay,
mouth for the audio to pick up. Anything over that, it's not picking up yet. You can't hold it that far away. I know you may feel awkward, but it needs to be at least 2 inches away from your mouth.
Got it.
Let's go. Go ahead.
Start over.
You can keep going, or she needs, keep going though.
Okay, and we are hired by the investors or the owners of the corporations or the organizations to go in to work with their management team. The management team would not necessarily hire us because they're threatened by us. So we're pretty hardcore and we're hands-on. My business partners are quite senior. As a result, we come with experience.
Okay. All right, Kay, can you tell me what our company actually does?
Well, I have a little cheat because I talked to her last night.
That's
fine. Basically, from what I gathered is they go into a company who's struggling, if it's from a management standpoint, to figure out what's the challenges that's either keeping them from growing or that's putting a halt to the organization as a whole, and uncover what's the problems and restructure and fix it. So that's
Andre,
kind of.
10,000 small businesses, workshop. How do you turn that into a sound bite? What's the tweet for what our company does?
Oh, wow. So I guess it goes back to, you mentioned being, just want to make sure I get the structure of it correct, right? A management consulting service that helps businesses, I guess, enhance their management team, or
Can I
No, I just wanna
ask
explain.
her to do something for me? Do me this favor. If you were at a networking event and someone said to you, "What do you do?" Give me that 30 to 45 second elevator pitch, so that we can really
okay,
restructure it.
I am a fixer. I go into companies and I help them reorganize, restructure in order to increase profitability and the bottom line. That's what I
Okay.
do.
Okay.
So now if I put that into a tagline, so your tagline can only be 7 words.
I am a professional.
You don't have to say I am, because your company's name is up there.
Mhm.
Correct.
All right?
So are you asking me what my company does or what I do?
No, what's just the tagline of the company?
Experienced management advisory professionals to fix your organization, increase profitability.
Take it down.
8, 9.
13 to 15, maybe.
I give an example, right? So I have an entire website, right, of everything I do, and I could probably speak for days of what I do. But if someone say, Andre, what do you do, right? So I'll tell you guys what I do. But if I was to break it down, we exist to help businesses grow using social media and data.
Exactly.
Everyone know what I do, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's the idea.
Exactly.
We're not done with you. Say it. This is a workshop. This is not a panel. I'm pretty much bribing these guys to give away free advice so people can see the process of what it takes to be an entrepreneur. Because one thing you said with your, she doesn't do the marketing. She just wants to do the work. Sometimes as entrepreneurs, we are a marketing company. Everybody on my team does either marketing. Digital Grass is not a tech company. We were a whole bunch of entrepreneurs that do innovation. We just know tech is a part of everything we do. So we wanted to come and share the knowledge with what we feel people miss. Is sometimes if your company is stagnant, it's normally never you or your services. It's sometimes people just because we still have people say, what does Digital Grass do? And we say we are a diversity-focused accelerator based off of inclusion. Now, if you don't know our lingo, if you don't know what an accelerator is, it doesn't mean anything. So we were like, we're the grassroots for getting you into tech. People were like, oh, I got that. So you got to be able to grab them. And reason why it's 7 words that translated, and I'm sure, Andrew, but I know, Kay, you can relate to this. That whole clients who say yes, and especially how long you have people's attention. You have their attention for 3 to 7 seconds. It used to be about 13 seconds. Now it's like 3. All right? So if you could say this again, and I have it in my head. We're going to end up telling you. But if you could say it in 7 words, what would it be? Let's try it one more time.
Okay, let's try this.
That's the whole point. You're going to walk away, you're like, hey guys, we're changing everything today. We want to give you something to walk, because everybody else is now thinking about what they thought they were going to say. Yeah, ooh, that's too many words. Yeah. We're going to have to do this again.
We work with management teams to increase profitability and grow.
There it is.
Nice.
Now, we work with management teams to increase profitability and growth. Key words. That's Googleable. Some profitability, growth. That's what you have to start saying. Because if you say that to me, now my question is, this is my problem, how can you help me?
And can
Do
I
you
add
have
to
a
that?
problem
Yes,
and
go
can I
ahead.
help you?
Can I?
I do.
I want to add to that. Being really clear about who, either 2 ways, who's the real target market or the #1 problem that you solve and people hire you for. So if there's a real pain point for the companies who you know need your services, I would suggest that when you're out networking in that arena to use that #1 problem to attract that ideal client.
Okay, thank you. Our ideal client is not necessarily in that room. However, we do market ourselves to people who would be able to get us to that ideal client. So I understand what you're saying, so thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Who's next? Gonna do Leon? Let's go.
Hi, my name is Leon Gomez. I'm the founder of My Circles.
Stop.
And-
Hold on. My circles. I know y'all can know Leon, but still, it's good for the practice because we want to hear what his problem is. Go ahead. All right. Andrew, you here today?
Yeah.
What's up?
My circle.
I'm sorry, Andre. Why am I calling you Andrew today? I'm thinking of you. Yeah. I know y'all are boys too, but Andre, I'm sorry. Go
My
ahead.
circle is, so, I mean, you do good with marketing because I've seen the name out for quite some time, right? Around social network where you're doing events, right? Yeah. So I've kind of seen it.
That's
before,
fine.
So that's why.
Kay, I know you haven't heard him, so when
Yeah,
you think of
I haven't.
when you think of My Circles, how much can you gather from it?
Depending on where he showed up, I would think that he connected people from My Circles. That's what I would assume being an entrepreneur and you showing up to events.
But I could say this, when I first saw the name, not from here, but prior, I thought it was a social network, right? Where like a Facebook of some sort, right?
That's why I said connecting.
Yeah. So I was, and then I realized when I looked into it, it was events that you guys do, if I'm correct, and you used to do at the Hard Rock.
That's part of what we did.
Okay. That's what I saw.
The Twitter pitch.
What's
My
the
Circles-
sound? So what's the sound bite, Leon? What's the sound
My
bite?
Circles is a privacy network with social and dating functions.
And that
Okay,
means-
so
Was it always that?
I changed the way that I present the company a little bit
Okay.
because I didn't want us to be perceived as a social network similar to Facebook, because there's quite a bit of differences in what we're doing, specifically with the privacy aspect of our memberships.
Okay, so repeat that again because I'm a little lost now.
Okay.
So,
My Circles is a privacy network with dating and social functions.
dating.
Correct.
Oh, dating, okay.
In essence, what we do is we allow our members to have multiple profiles under one account so they can keep a separate profile for the business, personal, dating personas.
Now, what do you feel? I got something for this. Because the first thing I'm thinking, due to news and controversy, is Ashley Madison. So you have a negative stigma. You have a negative stigma attached to the branding. So if I hear dating
Privacy.
and privacy, I honestly start thinking cheating and deceit.
Actually, one of the things that Ashley Madison has done is validated very much the need for my circles.
Okay.
Well, but even though Ashley Madison has done that, they also devalidated the aspect of dating online with 6 million men registered and only 60,000 women.
Match and IAC this past week were announcing their IPO,
Mhm.
and Match is going to be coming out at over $3 billion valuation with all of their dating properties.
Right, because
So-
of Match and Tinder. Now, but you got to remember, Match got a lot of that because they bought out Tinder, and Tinder is nothing but a hookup site.
Correct.
Okay, so again, negative stigma basically. You listen, this is where we have to say, you're listening to the crowd when they hear the words. I think if you took out the word privacy, I think in technology, and you guys, this is where my end from tech, when I think of tech, I already think privacy. I don't know if I have to hear the word in a pitch. When I hear it in a pitch, I feel a double mantra that now I'm hiding something.
No, thank you for the feedback.
Yeah.
The reason that I started including or started presenting my circles as a privacy network, one of the things that Facebook does is Facebook gives their users the illusion that they're a free social network. And whereas they're not charging their members anything to be on the site, what they are doing is they're completely, I don't know what word to say, but they're completely abusing their members' privacy and selling all of the members' private information to the highest bidder.
Right. I don't know if that's I think people are pretty much aware of that now. I don't think that's an element of deceit.
More and more.
So what do you feel to be able to grow now that you have subject experts here? You have your professors here. What do you feel is a weakness of my circles being able to grow?
The largest challenge we're going to have is user acquisition and getting our name out there.
Okay, so let's stop there. Let's do user acquisition. Guys, you've heard the name, you've heard the brand, we've heard the feedback. How would you prepare or reposition my circles for customer acquisitions to, I guess, move away from the negatives that go with what we just heard did?
I'll take that first. You want to go?
No, go ahead.
So a few things first, right? The thought of things that I would personally look at and do, right? So in the business, my circles, this privacy network, you could set up multiple profiles and so on as a user, right? And they can use those profiles to talk to anyone, right? So today I could be Andre, tomorrow I could be Michael. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
So okay, perfect. So getting that as a user, looking out, it strikes me as not that interesting of what's the difference, right, of what I want to do. What people are doing now, users, so they're on Facebook, right? So they're on Facebook to connect with their family, right? They're on Instagram to probably connect with their younger audience of friends and so on, right? Then Snapchat to do things that mama don't need to see, right? So they have these channels that serve their purposes, and they have a huge database. And you all know all these channels have their huge database of members, and it's free. They log in, and it already comes with privacy of some sort. So I would really match it up to really see how you differentiate the brand itself first, right? I know you said the difference between you and Facebook. Facebook is selling everyone data, but you can't use that as a selling point to your customer base. Hey, this because Facebook is selling the data. No one cares, right? No one cares what Facebook or Instagram does. If Instagram change their privacy, people's gonna talk for one day, and tomorrow they forget about it, right? It's just as simple as that, right? So it's just as simple as that. So my feedback to you would be more really, where does the brand fit in? How do I get those people from? And I'm sorry, first I need to ask you, what do you consider to be your target audience?
That's what I was going
Yeah.
to. I'm like, that's the
What's
first
your target
question.
audience? Yes.
Target audience would be 18 to 50 year old.
Too large.
Too broad.
That's Too.
Too broad.
Too broad.
Men, women, both of them equally?
We will be focusing more so on women.
Okay.
Okay.
Interested.
Question. Okay, so they're women. Let's narrow the age group.
18 to 30.
Okay. What is the main concern of an 18-year-old to 30-year-old
Woman.
woman? What is her main concern as to the problem you're trying to solve for her?
There's multiple problems.
What's the number one problem you're trying to solve?
I would say privacy and security.
From what?
Privacy and security, online privacy and security.
From what is she having a problem with when it comes to online privacy and security?
Well, one thing that I will say, and I beg to differ with what you're saying,
Okay.
you said that if Facebook or Instagram.
Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna do this. You're getting expert advice.
Okay.
Let's not differ. Let's not push back. Let's just answer the questions that they're giving you, because we got to move to other people, because we don't have time for a true one-on-one.
Okay, no,
So,
that's
because-
fine, but just about over 20% of users on Facebook actually have deserted Facebook because of privacy concerns.
So, what's the number one problem that you're trying to solve for this woman? Why does she need to be hidden or need privacy?
It's not necessarily, and maybe I shouldn't be emphasizing so much the privacy
Okay,
aspect
so
in that sense.
that's important.
And it's not so much hiding, but a better possibly way of repositioning is, I say we all have different personas. We have a business persona,
Right.
we have a social persona, we have a family persona. If somebody is engaged in online dating, there's different types of dating sites.
Okay, so can I give you a suggestion?
Yes, please.
Okay. So if I was a $1 million, billion-dollar CEO, I would want my privacy protected. I would pay you so that I can be just hidden so people don't really know who I am, so that I can go out and interact from a dating perspective. So to me, a higher end client would be a great target market for you, because if you're talking about dating, they don't want the whole world to know who they are and what they're doing.
Correct.
But obviously, and that's what I was gonna. That's a great point. It made me think, because I'm thinking most 18 to 20
They
year
trying
olds,
to get it.
they aren't even thinking that way, because the majority of them are posing half naked on Instagram and still
Exactly,
applying
they're
for a job. So you can't really tap into
They sure
a
as
problem.
Right?
You can't. It's hard to tap into a problem where psychologically you would have to change the psychology for them to even understand your product.
Thank you. And
Exactly.
Andre, one of the things that you mentioned before, my circles, we have been doing a lot of social events where we actually bring people together, and the demographics of the people that attend our events tend to be 35 to 50.
But
professionals.
but your events don't match what you just said your target audience would be.
Exactly.
Correct.
Until you align all four of those things that they just gave you, your business will always have a hole.
And
Okay.
what part of the business is most successful? Events or the online piece?
We're looking to complete our funding once again, so the online component has not been completely developed.
So the events are pretty much the funding. The events are pretty much how you make your money.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a big money raiser.
But the
yes.
main thing is it's the events.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. So
And they've been very successful.
Can,
Yeah,
Cool.
you've been around for a while, so yeah.
so can I give you another suggestion?
Please.
Since your events seem to be your focus and you have somewhat of the target market, bring together those individuals at a higher level who are single, who need to date, and you have this service that
Yes.
protects them. So you have them in the room, and they need, that's what they're looking for, because that would be me. If I was on an online dating, I'm single, but I would want my privacy protected to a certain extent so that, I have protection.
So it seems like, from what, Kay, I know how you do your work, it sounds like to me you're talking about a 30 to 50-year-old focus group of his clientele to not just offer the service, but to see what they actually want.
Exactly.
All right, guys, let's pull
Thank
somebody
you.
else in
Just
from the
put one
crowd.
in the room.
Now,
Would you-
real quick, what you want to take from that is not just because, first of all, I know Leon, so he knows I'm going to give him the hardest information because I want to see him successful. But what you should take from that is less of everything we said could have been wrong, but look at the bigger things to point out. If your focus group doesn't match up with who you're actually drawing in as a client, you're disconnected, you're losing money. So when you come and talk to these guys, you're losing money because you're giving them mixed messages, but they're still billing you by the hour. That's number one. Number two, if you can't give the why immediately, why does someone need your service? You need to rethink your business. Bottom line.
And I would suggest, besides think of the problem. There's a problem.
problem
And we
you saw.
all have a problem. So what is the problem, the 1, 2, and 3, the top problem, the second problem, the third problem that you're trying, or that the person is looking to have solved? And that's how you go from there.
I bet you would make a killing doing events for 30 to 50-year-olds that were just private events. I wouldn't
Exactly,
even
and
work.
that's-
I don't
yeah.
think the technology is actually your business, because that older demographic isn't going to want to do as much technically versus the hands-on.
Exactly, and they pay it.
They're going to pay for the events, but they don't want to be on the app. But somebody might pay you $1,000 to be a matchmaker.
Exactly.
You got a whole bunch of rich people in South Florida that want to date but don't want to do the work.
Yes. There's some options to think about. Think about it.
I'm just like, it would.
Okay, so
I'm telling you.
Let's do your thing really quick. How many people are single in the room?
Yeah,
He had what he wanted to do a poll. So go ahead and run your poll.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. So if there was an event where there were like-minded people like yourselves, would you be interested? Because you're single, you want to date, and then you have the option. Would you use a service that would kind of keep your risk low if you're on a dating website?
So basically, we're talking about screening and evaluations of people that can even attend these events. That's what you use the technology for. You screen them out. And this is, they weren't here yesterday, but they know the story because we've all talked privately. This is where you Uber your services. Don't worry about the Uber XL, the Uber X, and everything. Do the black car service. Get the highest of the highest, the elite of the elitists, and make it so exclusive, people start begging you, Leon, I need to get in that group. I heard about who met who last. I heard about that party. I got to get in. But if you do this, because what you've done is you just put out a big net. And with that huge net, you're going to get in a whole bunch of garbage that doesn't make you money, and it holds your business back. But if you go out and you're only looking for stonefish crab, it's the only thing you're coming back with, and you're going with people that have a stonefish crab, a stone crab appetite. So you want to focus that in. Don't want tilapia on the plate. You don't want the GMO salmon. You don't want all the other stuff. You know what you want. You got to bring just that back.
And to Mike, your point as well, you mentioned kind of creating that niche, right, of some sort. That's exactly what we did, right? As a company, we focused on strictly
Yes.
franchisees, restaurants, and nightclubs. All of them relate to each other in some way, right? And we were able to grow that niche from $0 to over $2 million, right? Just focusing on that niche. Now we had that niche. Now we have
So
brands
another one.
everywhere come to us and, hey, can you do my marketing and my social media and my branding? And now we could increase our costs to whatever we want, right? Not that I do that.
We just exploit everybody.
but now I control the conversation because I spent 5 years focusing on my niche. I didn't lean over somewhere else. I focused on my niche and dominated that niche. All right, so definitely agree with Mike.
But I think right now you have a new company to work on just for an idea, because you got to think this would be a cheaper risk for you. How much would it cost for you to do one event focused on that demographic?
Nothing.
So I believe you heard the investors in here yesterday say, do little tests for nothing to figure out what everything is going to be. Mitigate your risk.
The event part's already been proven.
Stay with what's proven. Quit trying to fix what's broken. If you focus, Lamborghini didn't start making airplanes.
The only thing with that is scalability, because
You don't have to always scale large to get rich. You haven't. If you have perfected the one thing you're doing now, everything else will come easy. If you perfected those events in Miami for that demographic, you could easily go to Atlanta and replicate what you've done. You're thinking scalability is hard. Those are brand ambassadors to do your events in different cities.
Have you ever heard of red carpet events? They used to be around, and they were a very elite group of people, and they had waiting lists. So I don't know if they're still around, but it gives me the idea of something like that, where you were waiting to get into becoming a member.
Dinner in Block. I mean,
I haven't heard of that one.
that's a all-white dinner. You're paying what, $175, and you bringing your own food and everything else. That you get the location at the last minute. It's private. It's the eliteness. This is the reverse of what everybody should start considering if you're going to do a tech company and it comes into the branding. The reverse of what you're doing is everything is now accessible to everybody. You know what I am? Porn became accessible to everybody. It drove the value down. Okay? But when that value was going down, sex became more exposed. Then it was the privacy, and now your swingers clubs went up because people wanted that exclusivity. I'm seeing it all day on the internet. I want to go see it live. Porn industry's never lost money, but it just became more exposed. Restaurants, chains. Do anybody remember when you used to be able to go to the Olive Garden and the food was actually good?
Yeah.
Like, you was excited. I remember, I grew up in Panama City, little country. I remember lines to get into the Olive Garden. Now, nobody wants to go there. It's a chain. It's overexposed. But the one-off restaurants, that's a hole in the wall with 18 chairs, has lines wrapped around the building. It's exclusivity now. The world is almost going in reverse. It used to be, I want everything, everything. Now it's like, I want what everybody else can't get.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the art world is going to be soon too, right, Melissa? Yeah, that's why the art world is going. You're next?
Junior Alexis, I'm the CEO and founder of Direct Dispatch.
Direct dispatch, that's it. What does he do? You know,
I'm thinking logistics. I'm thinking logistic. If I think direct dispatch logistics, that's what I'm assuming.
Logistics, we're an auto transportation company that we streamline the process for a consumer looking to transport a vehicle, so we've eliminated the middleman.
Okay.
So we connect shippers directly to carriers.
so I guess, Junior, one of the things I would like to know is, because like you said, direct dispatch, I hear logistics, so I see an opportunity for more than just one specific industry.
Yeah, I thought logistics.
Do you think possibly maybe a hindrance is to only focus on cars? Maybe just because you have such a great, because sometimes, and this is another thing you guys have to consider, a brand can bring you additional revenue because it's a great brand.
Well, that's why we didn't specify, we didn't call it auto transport, it's direct dispatch.
You don't have no problems. You're a professor. You're great. What's your problem? Boy? Tell us your problem. What are you trying to figure out?
Great
How could we
question.
help? I told you one thing with his logo, and I told him
It's
this.
already fixed.
Oh, you did it?
Yeah, it's already
So I guess I'll give you guys an example of how, as people can tell us, particular we can be. Junior had this amazing logo, but it was an arrow going to the spot. The arrow had a little bit of an arc in it, barely.
It means little.
And when I say little, I'm talking about maybe 7%. But when you're a designer, my business partner hates it. I can be in the kitchen walking by his screen. Hey, that's off by 1/4 of an inch. No, it's not. Go line it up and type in the numbers. Man, shut up. But it was off by 1/4 because you see so much. It was maybe a 7-degree arc. I was like, if you're direct dispatch, I want a 45-degree angle. I want a straight line. You can't be off. So I was like, fix the logo, make it a straight line. But that's what matters with a brand. Because I'm like, he was like, why? What do you mean? I was like, because that little arrow, that showed me like, your dude might take a break when he bring up my car. He might be late. It's a little bit of playroom for you to mess up. But you can't mess up. 45 degrees is 45 degrees. A perfect angle is a perfect angle.
That was a great point, we adjusted it. Great point. What the application does,
Hold
I'm
it
not
up.
sure if you ever anyone in here ever transported a vehicle, but it's almost like searching for insurance online. And you're bombarded with emails, phone calls, but we've been able to develop an application that once a consumer go online, they submit their information, they are able to process an order, and from there, by utilizing geo-targeting and geo-fencing as well as GPS, it actually locates the driver for you. Very simple process. As of right now, you're speaking to 4 to 5 people within a company just to move your vehicle. Whereas now, you're not talking to no one. It just happens all automatically. We have, again, full-blown tracking, and carriers within our system also can track their current employees, which is a major problem in the trucking industry. So the cool thing is this is an industry that's dead. This is, well, excuse me, not dead, it's a $40 billion industry annually. But this is an industry that's still using carbon copy documents when they go and look at your vehicle. They still market. So we've been able to we digitized the whole thing.
So I have a
go
question
ahead.
for you guys. How can he tagline, I guess, modernize it of his brand? Because to me, it seems like he's kind of revolutionizing the industry. So what he's doing itself is not revolutionary because he's still just shipping cars on the back of a truck. So it's not like he's saying hit a button and the car, disappears.
It's your
and
marketplace for
transports.
auto transport.
I don't think so. How would he be able to brand that he's actually revolutionizing it where he's making the process easier? If we had to kind of let's reverse it instead of him giving us a tagline. Or maybe should we give him to give us a tagline and see how we can make the tagline?
Yes.
What's the tagline?
Did he just say it?
Yeah,
I think you
your
just said-
marketplace for auto transport.
Okay. So if I hear that, I'm still thinking it's like everybody else. So how does he separate himself when they hear that tagline?
And you say you just don't focus on cars, right? Or
No, we specifically focus on cars.
Specifically focus
See,
on
anyone
cars.
in the industry, and I'll let you answer this.
No, I'm just asking you first.
If I answer your question, then you're
No, I'm not actually answering this.
Okay, so-
did you just focus on cars? Because
Yes, to answer your question. Yes.
great. So it's just cars. For that, I would. I think put an effort more in the ease, how easy it is
That's
to get
what
it
yes.
done, right? I'll figure some way to put in that easy part where I know that 1, 2, 3, find my. I mean, I'm not giving. I'm just saying that's my thought. I would have to put together. I mean,
Yeah,
the
I
entire
would have
thing.
to have asked more questions. I can't
Exactly,
just-
but my first thought would be, why is it easier, right? Why is it easier for me to do? You mentioned an app. Do it in an app on the phone or is it an app just online?
Both mobile and web application. But
Yeah.
more than just easy, I guess the main focus would be it's cost effective. 99% of the industry is price driven, and consumers are looking for cheap. That's all they're looking for. So I guess in a sense it would be we're saving 25 to 30% on every single transportation.
Something like this, right? The easiest and most
Cost-effective.
cost-effective way to transport your car, right?
Sure.
Your vehicle.
Yeah, your vehicle. There you go, your
Correct.
vehicle, right? So there's an
So
idea. of-
easy and cost-effective way to transport your vehicle?
Cheapest, cost effective.
I wouldn't say, I personally.
Cheap is a bad word.
I wouldn't, that's what I was gonna say, I wouldn't say
What's
cheap.
affordable?
I wouldn't say cheap.
So I think now also, but one of the things that's still not highlighted there for me is that I think of like when we were talking about Uber yesterday, the execution part, the basis of a brand. Lyft is still killing. I mean, Uber is still killing Lyft, and I think at some points Lyft is actually cheaper, but people still prefer Uber. So I don't know if being the most cost effective is what's going to be your strength versus I can check online and see where my car is at. I can look at my phone and see the expected arrival time.
That's what I was thinking. And also less hassle. Because what you're saying is the customer's always being hassled with numerous phone calls. There's so many competitors to choose from. So those would be things, if that's your target market and that's the problem that you're solving for them, is to include things like that, that are the things that they're saying in their head to get the job done.
I think you just gave it to them. Easy, hassle-free vehicle transportation.
Nice.
If I know it's easy, and if I know that I don't have that headache no more, oh, hold on, what you mean it's hassle-free? I'm at least gonna look into it. I'm at least,
You know, it's one of those things where
Or haggle.
It's one of those things where I'd say there's obviously two as far as marketing. You have your large customers.
Exactly.
You also have your small customers.
Mhm.
Your small customers are going to be the average Joe Blow transporting his vehicles throughout
But
the.
even with that, because I know you're talking about the car dealerships, they still have the hassle. They still have the struggle.
Correct.
I think if they hear those key words, it at least opens the door.
The point that I was making is that they know because they're in the industry. They're in the auto industry. So one way or the
They
other.
know it's hard to do it.
Correct.
They don't know you make it easy.
True. But see, consumers don't know it's hard or easy.
Right.
do.
But
The
I
average
think-
consumer. The average consumer, because when you think they're shipping their vehicle for the first time. I mean, how many times you shipped a car?
I know someone who shipped it and they were very overwhelmed with the process.
They didn't know how overwhelmed it was until they attempt to ship it.
But that's the point. Anything in life will be presumed to be overwhelming.
I'm not sure because I'm in the tech industry. When I automatically hear we ship cars, I'm already thinking there's some type of tracking online. So I'm thinking that every website that does this
It's
should.
amazing you think that, but oh man, it's not like that.
No, none of
That's why
them.
we're
do
so
it.
great.
But go
Because
ahead.
I think there's two parts of his business, with the other part that you were bringing in as a suggestion to him. So making sure that when he creates that second part with the digitizing and all that stuff, that's just a different component. And if you have this from the service page, as it says, a drop down, and someone clicks on that part, then you have a tagline so that they immediately connect to that service and how you're making life easy for them.
Correct.
And you know what? That because I know you do content development for people. Seems like his brand would need to go through a point of separation, an enterprise level and a personal level. I think sometimes.
He can. Have you ever seen, for example, like enterprise? They have the regular consumer and then they have corporate.
Right. That's
So
yeah.
you click on the link. and
Yeah,
then
I guess I'm saying
go like
enterprise
that.
as the corporate level. But yeah, you would need to do you need to do a corporate level and a personal level.
Which we have.
Yeah, but the brand and the taglines will have to match those industries to draw them in.
Any other
So
questions?
you have a question? Another question?
I don't think so. I think we're.
You just got a whole session for free.
Appreciate it.
And I know how your mind works. You about to go make those changes tonight. Junior be hitting go to his website tomorrow. All this stuff will be on his website tomorrow. He gonna call his web dude on the way home. Dude, I know you sleep, but
He does that too.
he does. He absolutely does.
I actually have someone that I want to introduce you to.
Absolutely.
Cool.
He's doing cars for consumers, and if they're out of the state or someone purchases, they will need to connect with someone to transport. So
Correct.
definitely
Boom. Client.
let me connect with you.
There you go. Connections
startup.
made.
They just pay for that call.
Yeah, pretty much. Now he got to hire her to do the work. All right. Who's next? Who we got? Go ahead.
Hi. My name is Ledger Kellier. My company is called Illuminify.
Pronounce it again?
Illuminify.
Illuminify. Okay, so tell me, what do you do? I have no idea.
We make connected devices to propagate the internet to underserved areas.
Say that again.
We make
Using
connected
big words for me.
streetlights. Yeah, I know.
I'm a simplifier.
We make getting access to the internet a lot easier for underserved areas.
Okay, I got that.
Exactly, right?
So that's a great start on the second one.
Okay, so Illuminify.
Illuminify.
I've seen it, and I've seen your brand. I wish I would. If you have your business card,
Yes.
by the way, bring it up. Let them. They love to see the visuals. Now we're going to a different part. And yes,
You're like,
yes, I'll get you
Well,
that card. So it can
Also
be screened.
on here, I guess the tagline you have on here,
Connecting people, places, and things.
yeah,
Yes.
that didn't match what you just told us.
Well, it's because, but it does, in a sense, because we're able to connect people that don't have access to Wi-Fi, people that don't have access to the internet, devices that don't have access to it, to the internet. So that's why I came up with that.
You said people, but then you also,
So
prior
let
to
me-
that, you said
Okay, so-
underserved areas.
Right, so one of the products that we
Closer
make,
to your mouth, please.
one of the products that we make is a connected street light.
Okay.
So with this product, we can go into areas a lot easier and be able to disseminate internet access to areas without having to go through the permitting process. It's as simple as changing a light fixture.
Okay, so let me understand this, Because now I'm interested. A street light becomes a Wi-Fi connection?
Yeah.
If I heard street light Wi-Fi, I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
Well, usually I say connected streetlight, and people look at me like, "What do you mean?"
No.
But what he just said, he said it differently.
You didn't. This is why Kay did this thing. He said clients that say yes.
Yes.
We had this conversation with a young man that was here yesterday. You gotta listen.
Yes.
It can't be close to what she tells you as a professional. It has to be exact. Street light Wi-Fi
That's
is
huge.
not a Wi-Fi that connects you. You can't add anything to it. You can't say brand Jordan, Air Jordan, brand Jordan. You can't say the shoes that Michael Jordan used to wear. Air Jordan. Oh, got it. The shoes Michael Jordan used to wear. Which one? His shirt shoes? You know, street light Wi-Fi. I will find somebody outside and pull them in. Stop the dude right there. Stop him real quick.
Right. And why he's doing that? Go on GoDaddy right now.
That's what we're
Exactly.
For real.
Exactly.
Sir, can you come in real quick?
Go on GoDaddy right now.
I want to ask you a question. You work with Juanita's Kitchen, right? Catering for the day, free plug for Juanita's Kitchen. I want to ask you a quick, simple question. I want to know how you feel about this. Street light Wi-Fi. What does that mean to you? Street light Wi-Fi. What does it mean to you? It's no trick question. I promise you're not going to say the wrong thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So what I would do is get on cheap domains at GoDaddy.com, buy streetlight Wi-Fi. I think you have a brand for an overarching company. I think your product is streetlight Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Because if people start hearing about it and they Google that, hey man, I heard something about streetlight Wi-Fi. You don't want them, what was it, Illuminati?
No.
You don't want them to go through that.
Okay.
Streetlight Wi-Fi.
You better get that domain quick before I get to it.
Yeah. Somebody gonna be selling it off today. It was $9.99. You got $3,000. We can work something out.
That's the first thing I say.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What does this image represent?
So that's a light fixture with the actual Wi-Fi signal coming out of it.
It looks like a honeycomb to me.
Yes, that's what I thought too.
Okay.
So we need to simplify your brand,
Mm-hmm.
or you don't need to really have an actual street light, because street lights mean different things to different people depending on what city or where you live at.
What country?
They're not designed the same.
Right.
Don't corner yourself.
Okay.
That's one thing I see people do. They design brands too specific
Mm-hmm.
that the brand actually hinders what they're capable of doing.
Okay.
So if you become streetlight Wi-Fi, your name is your brand. You don't need an icon.
Okay. Thank you.
We'll take our cut later. Sign us up. But I think that's a great concept.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's definitely innovative, like you said.
Do you have a patent on that?
Yes. Oh,
nice.
Okay.
a couple of
Yeah,
Awesome.
Ariel, get his information. Let's figure out what we're gonna do with that. Annie, you've been emailing me. If I would have known that's what you did, I was like,
See, he would have had a different conversation if it was phrased differently.
Streetlight Wi-Fi, I would have been like, oh, come in, let's have a meeting. But I'm like, Illuminati. What is this like a conspiracy theory on tech stuff? I didn't make it, because when you said connecting people and places and things to the internet, I'm thinking black people not having access to the internet, the conspiracy of what we can't get control of. I'm not thinking this dude used streetlights to make Wi-Fi. I'm just not thinking that.
Yeah.
We could sell that to every. Have you talked to Overtown CRA?
That's what I was thinking. The cities as a.
Pompano's got one going on too.
Well, there's so many
So-
CRAs that'll do that. You could Google. Have you talked to Google?
I just finished talking to my.
You're just signing up to Digital Grass Accelerator. We're working with you. That's insane, and you have
Yeah.
a patent.
Yeah, he's got it.
Nice.
Good. Congratulations.
Yes.
You got to be more aggressive in your You met me, man.
You know.
You should have been sitting down with Google this weekend. You should have been the panel. Do you realize what you have?
Yes, I do. Now, because people keep telling me.
You know what?
And
But I mean, I need to live
No, you know what? You're in a great position. You should remain humble as you are. You need a jerk like me to be your spokesperson. This is what, remember what Felicia was talking about? You need your champion?
You're right.
I'm your champion.
Or your ninja.
Yeah, I'm both of them, your champion. Because I will we work with CRAs. Every CRA in any underserved community in South Florida, if we haven't worked with them, we're about to get a contract. I will walk you into every CRA, and I'm going to tell them we have streetlight Wi-Fi.
They're gonna drop
They're going to be like, what do we do?
That's definitely a powerful, that's a powerful.
Are you gonna have the salespeople yet?
Remember when they said sometimes you need to go somewhere so your team will come to you? You have your team in this room.
I didn't expect about like all of the people who plug into not Wi-Fi, but just use the outlets on streetlights, especially like on Lincoln Road,
Yeah.
for example.
Yeah, I was about to say, even though we're saying, because you said underserved community,
It's so much bigger.
that's a Miami Beach thing, man. That's
It's so
everywhere.
much
Like
bigger.
right outside the door, I just saw like 3 or 4 people literally have a power strip plug into the street light.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk at lunch.
I'm just saying.
We just want in, whatever it takes. That's awesome. Next person, I don't know who wants to follow that. Yes, ma'am. The baby
Hi.
clothes, yes.
Good morning. My name is Joy. I'm from Little Cherubs, New York. And we do inspirational baby clothing
Okay.
for moms and moms to be.
Guess that name.
The name of the business?
Oh, Little Cherubs, New York.
Little Cherubs, New York.
Cherubs.
Yeah, cherubs.
Okay. So, what's your question?
First thing you said a name, does it?
Little Cherubs in New York doesn't give me a tick.
Yeah.
That's
I'm having,
good.
and to
That's
kinda,
fine.
I know
I
I
mean-
get you. I have a 5-month-old son, so I mean I'm out there looking for clothing and stuff like that. So if I was to hear that, it doesn't give me
An idea
baby
of what you do.
clothing,
Okay.
stuff like that, inspiration. So that's my thoughts on the name.
Okay, so change your name.
It's up to you.
It's
No, I
up to
mean,
you.
listen, I'm
Yeah.
open to suggestions,
But
yeah?
once again, name doesn't. Just to give you the answer, the name doesn't fit what you do,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Yeah. If I was a consumer, I wouldn't know exactly what you do based on just the name itself, right? And like I said, I'm your target market right now.
So
I got one for you.
My question.
He's ready to buy.
Let me
I got one for you.
let me ask you a question. What? Who is your ideal client?
Ideal client from our demographics is females 18 to 34. Okay, from what we've seen, we've been on Facebook, and those are the ones who've responded the most to
Have they
us.
purchased?
They don't purchase directly, but the people that have been purchasing are the OBGYNs,
And why the OBGYNs?
because we have been creating specialized onesies and T-shirts for them that express the same sentiment that we have.
Okay. I have two thought processes.
Okay.
But I'm going to go back to him being a parent. Why would a parent buy that?
Because for when you have a new baby, it can be stressful. Yeah, so our garments help you to be able to, wherever you're going through, we're here to let you know that it's going to be okay.
Give me an idea, because I'm a mom of 2, and pushing was real hard.
Yeah. So it's like, new moms, it's the middle of the night, you are just at your wit's end, Then you have this garment, whether you wear it or not, that says, tomorrow be better, mommy, or, God loves you, or whatever. Those are the things that we want to do to help people to keep going.
So the motivational message to the mother is on
Yes.
the garment of the children.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think it would be a great fit for gifts
Yes.
that a family member could give to a mom. Also, it could be, you can create a product line for the OBGYNs to give as a gift to their clients.
Yes, that's working very well right
Okay. I think he had.
Question as well. What I would probably think about, got the name right, and it relates to exactly once I see it, I understand what it is. I would also, based on the inspiration part of it, I would add a cause to it, right? For every 1 or every 10 you buy, we donate
To March of
5
Dimes.
more to,
March of
exactly,
Di-
right?
To the March of
Okay.
Dimes.
Okay,
So add a cause
Yes.
to the brand overall. So if you go to the OBGYN and say, hey, for every 100 or 50 you buy, we're gonna also donate 5 or 10 to a specific cause that relates, once again, back to your target market, right? To kind of give it.
And that's
that-
what I was saying, March of Dimes, because a mom who loses a child,
Yeah.
it's traumatic
So,
for
so
her.
now the branding is coming full circle. Now everyone's gonna start talking about it, and people are so emotional driven now. It's like, oh, cool. Let me just support it just because.
Tie into an emotion. Is it
Yeah.
onesies that you create, or is it different products? What are the? I see the onesie, but is it just a onesie? I guess
No.
I'm trying to
no,
understand.
we do onesies, we do T-shirts, and now we've just expanded into swaddle blankets. And swaddle
Okay.
blankets like the hottest thing right now.
Yeah.
So it's all specialized. It's all
and
T-shirts for the babies,
it's for boys and girls, right?
boys and girls.
Okay.
Yes. Mm, that's what we do.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean,
I think like, what was the word?
Postpartum.
Might be a really good cause if it's inspirational for new
Yeah,
moms.
that's what it ties into. If you're trying to attack, I think that's the quickest connection.
Okay.
You're trying to prevent a mother from being depressed, staying on the up and up.
Yes.
That's a cause that women are killing themselves because of that.
Yeah.
They're not killing themselves; they're killing,
Killing the
babies.
babies
Kill the
too.
babies,
So
yeah.
I
And
would
the
tie,
dads are also participating in that too. So we have a line that addresses.
but
that.
I would tie it to a cause or a nonprofit that addresses that issue.
Here's my suggestion to you. I'm a woman who has experienced postpartum depression,
There
and
you
it
go.
is very real,
Yes.
and people don't really understand that. So one of the things that I would personally suggest to you is to create a movement to talk about postpartum depression. Because even in the African American community, people just don't get it, and it is very, very real.
Yes.
Okay? And your clothing can be that thing that keeps that woman grounded to distract her from the unbalance of her hormones being off. It's real, and the conversations need to be had.
Awesome.
agreed.
Now you got a cause and a purpose and a whole audience.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
But are you operating as a for-profit?
Yes.
I think you should do. Who made the comment yesterday, guys? That was that Marlon? The Professor Hill, that nonprofits can make money.
Oh yeah, they do.
I think you might want to consider this as a nonprofit approach.
Okay. I
'Cause-
have to get some guidance on.
You got a lawyer
It can
over
be
here that
both.
can help you with that. She does
It can
nonprofit.
be both. I think it can be both.
That's what I'm saying. She can operate as both, but the biggest thing is she can still make money because with doing it as a cause, there's more grants that she can get to raise the money, and actually the events and the distribution of the clothing can become cheaper for you because now you have grants funding the production of it.
Got it.
So you,
And
because
hosting
your main thing
events.
is to get the message out.
Yes.
Get the message of one of those being the topics, postpartum depression,
Yeah.
because it's real.
Yeah.
And how much are the onesies to produce?
The onesies, right now, because we're going to produce minimum quantities, we're 15. Each of these costs $14.95.
$14.95
Retail.
retail.
How much it cost you to me?
What's
And it costs me.
I was about to say this is like Shark Tank now.
No, that's fine.
What's your cost?
That's fine. It costs $7.50 to
Why
make.
so high?
Why so high? Because I'm
Minimum.
buying just small quantities. Now it drops with the
Volume.
OBGYNs who are ordering 100. or
Okay, so
200.
your goal would be
Get your
to raise
costs.
enough money to get your costs down to about $3.50
Exactly.
to $4.
Exactly. That
Then
was-
you want to be able to allow people to make $10 donations to be able to give them away.
Here's a suggestion. Work on getting your costs down and do a bundle. Don't sell them as one pieces.
Yeah.
Because again, when you're talking about the emotion of a mom
Yeah.
or a father to their child, if they can buy in just say for 5 days of the week, that way you're able to sell more opposed to this one-off kind of thing. because as a mom, I'm buying a whole bunch of onesies at one time. I'm buying because they spill, you know.
And it goes
Yeah.
to
Tester. So I think with going on with what Kay is saying, I would go into like a almost. I'm thinking the time frames, you know, like the themes. I would do the weekend package, because I mean, how many onesies does I don't have children yet, but how many onesies does a baby go
Breakfast,
through in a
lunch,
day?
and dinner and snacks in
At
between.
least two to three. Yeah.
per day.
2 to 3 a day.
Yeah, 2 or 3 a day. Yeah.
So if I did a weekend package, that's 6.
And then also, I'm on a roll, but
Two
so
2
a
inches away from the mouth.
father- a father can give his wife or a mom, you know, the mother of his child, a package, which would be something like, you know, sweetie, thank you for producing this beautiful bundle of joy. You know, so you have different
A push,
products
yeah.
for different purposes.
Yeah.
So think about your product line. Think of product lines, opposed to just
One-off sale.
one-off sales. How can you package? Think of packaging.
And to your thoughts as well. I wouldn't don't go crazy.
Use the mic.
Right.
And create 100
Andre,
product line now.
grab the mic from her because I think all the mics are from.
Yeah, don't go crazy and create 100 different product line now. Take that idea, create a few, let them work, and then start building more.
Okay.
Right?
Thanks, because that's why we started with just the onesies, because that's what we
And also-
we test mark. You know, you were talking about doing little increments, see what works, see what doesn't work. That's what we started with. So now we know we're getting a little
Better
bit
yet.
better yet.
Better yet, also give people the opportunity to create custom. You see how there's this T-shirt company where you can create your own T-shirt and then they drop ship. You know, the dad may want to make a message specific that there's something that's not quite fitting for me, and then that could be an option as well. Okay.
I'm scared to do this, but I'm going to take everything that you say and implement it. I'm Melissa Hunter Davis with Sugarcane Magazine. Here are my visuals. We feature artists of Africa and the African diaspora. However, Sugarcane is a part of Sugarcane Global Media, where we create content and events.
Sugarcane, content, and events.
African diaspora.
Ah, okay.
Now the sugarcane makes sense.
So my first question, right? So just media. So you mentioned says magazines.
Online, yes.
Online.
Yes, online magazine only. We don't print.
Okay. All right. Okay. Matter of fact, when you kind of go back, right? So when the panel was here before, right, and you asked a question and you said introduce yourself, Sugarcane. I was thinking, what is it? Trying to figure out what exactly is it, what type of magazine, who's it catering to. So the name itself doesn't really give that as much as what exactly you do. So I was just because I was thinking about it. Wonder what magazine that is, right? And it just kind of slipped my mind from there. But yeah.
Take the mic back.
Why the sugarcane fields on the photo for the?
So initially, when I came up with this idea, I was thinking of a name, what's a catchy name, and I was thinking about, you know, black folks in general. I'm like, you know, what kind of ties us together without sounding like cliche, like Afro art or something like that. So I thought about agriculture, and I thought of things that brought us together. So we didn't all pick cotton. Cotton didn't grow everywhere in the world, but sugarcane grew in a lot of places. You had it in the Caribbean, you had it in South America, you had it in certain parts of the United States. And I think even certain parts on the west coast of Africa. So that was one thing that we all, at some point, our families had to do, our ancestors had to do. So that's where sugarcane came in.
Okay, so tell me what you do again.
We feature artists of Africa and the African diaspora. So we create content about Africa and the African diaspora as well as events.
Okay.
Seems like to me I would need to hear that word art immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So if
And
it
my-
was simply sugarcane art, I would at least be like, y'all paint with sugar canes, then you could at least tell me the story.
And one of the things that I did was I bought the domain. Crap, I forgot what it's called. I think it was African Artist, and because I know people would look that up, and I did buy that domain. So just in case anybody ever Googled it, it took them. It took them to the site.
Yeah, because I mean, me being an artist personally, if I heard sugarcane art, I'm at least drawing to it. I'm thinking you're either an art conglomerate, I'm thinking you're a gallery or something of that matter.
Okay.
But I think it's sugarcane media, right?
Sugarcane Global Media. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's going to take too long. Like an easy one, PBS with Kaylin. Yeah, Art Law.
Loft, yeah.
You get it.
Right.
You don't have the attention span, and I've learned this, and I don't know if you guys just with seeing with branding and stuff, we have to be almost more detailed and dumbed down.
Yeah.
Not because really of the audience we reach out to, but because you're so bombarded with things.
You want it to
You don't,
stick.
yeah, you don't have that luxury of something like Adele or AT&T where you can build up the brand and people end up knowing what you do. Because it didn't hit as fast, and only so many people used to be able to afford marketing. So, you know, if you went to a young kid and been like, Sears, what do you mean? You're Sears and me? They wouldn't even know where to start. But for us, Sears was the store. That was where your mom went. That was where the horrible photos happened for the family portrait. Like, but Sears had, hundreds of years to build a brand.
Right.
You have 18 months
Right.
to try to rake in things, and then you have yearly events that you got to hit
Right.
milestones for.
I gotcha.
So I think sugarcane art,
Okay.
it'll look better and it'll emphasize, and then you can focus. You can say we focus on. Then you can highlight the media and all that stuff.
And my tagline is the global African stage. So does that work? Does that make sense with sugarcane art?
I would
Because
just
we
say the
are
African
artists.
diaspora of art,
Okay.
Yeah.
because global doesn't relate to African diaspora, although we are global.
Right.
You know, but you still want to be specific.
Okay.
African art is the most highly collected art right now, and everybody's buying it up,
Right.
which means in 3 to 5 years, Sotheby's and Christie's is going to be auctioning it off at the highest prices.
Right.
So the time right now is for everybody to be collecting it, so you're a hot topic.
Right.
So if you're actually curating that,
I gotcha.
it makes
Gotcha.
sense.
I gotcha. Okay.
All right.
So do you have another question?
No. That's okay. Okay.
So we want to thank this free work that these amazing professors did for us today.